Hello, Iowa. We are back again. It's Thursday. It's 5 o'clock. It's 1350 ESPN. What time is it for?
What time is it for?
What's the time? It's 5 o'clock, right?
Yes, it means it's time to listen to our show.
Right.
Okay.
So what's our show?
Oh, well, come on. It's the greatest show ever. We are two hockey nuts who talk about hockey on the other state of hockey.
Exactly. And why are we the other state of hockey?
Because I always think it's because of state of mind, but you always think it's because of Minnesota.
Well,
I think we're just absolutely nuts. So
we are nuts.
Yeah.
But we're here to prove that hockey is alive and well as much as it is here as it is in states like Minnesota.
You know what? I heard a funny fact that they don't go off of youth hockey if hockey's growing in a market. They go by men's leagues.
Really?
Yeah. And that's
Adult leagues, we should clarify.
adult league. Yes, you're right. Yes, because there are a lot of females that play.
Yep.
Ones that will whoop my butt too. So So that's what I heard that the other day from somebody when they were talking about how do you judge a new market coming up, and it's men's league, because men's leagues, your travel youth hockey leagues keep a lot of your players away from the game because they're traveling.
Right.
Men's leagues are guys that are going to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, the
like-
kids go, but who's got to bring them, right?
Like Warren Buffett said, how do you know when the economy's back on the rise? When men start buying underwear and socks again. That's when you know, because people have other money to spend, and they think, if I have extra money to spend, I want to buy underwear and socks. Because leave it to me, I would not ever buy them things.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people with their hands at 10 and 2 staring at the windshield on their drive home, wondering, what in the hell did I just stumble upon here?
Yeah.
All right, you just stumble upon, like Frank just said, this is our show. It's the other state of hockey. Every week, 1350, 5 o'clock, we talk nothing but hockey. So basically, what do? We talk everything from mini mites to the majors, house league to the Hall of Fame, outdoor on the pond to the outdoor games in the NHL. Mm-hmm. We got it all covered.
I like the second one better.
Yeah, we might go with that. Maybe there's a T-shirt coming. So Derek and Frank, like we are here every Thursday. And
we're coaches, we're players,
we're students.
Hockey, fantasy hockey GM of the year, I guess.
Podcast legends.
Yes. So.
And of course, this would not be possible, should not be for our technical staff, Maddie.
Yeah. That's how we work.
Yeah, that's how we are.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. All right. So, normally,
Maddie, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay.
She's filing right now. Her nails. All right. So how do we do this show? Well, we just get straight into the news and see where the tide takes us.
Yes.
Starting off like we always do, talking about 3 stars of the week.
3 stars. Let's do it.
3 stars of the week. 3rd star, Sean Monahan of the Calgary Flames.
You know, they keep giving a lot of Calgary Flames stars of the week, but I don't ever see them winning.
Yeah. Well, we know it takes a bunch of guys to play together to lose, right?
That's right. And Calgary is accomplishing that. It's like, I mean, what was it?
A lot of individual efforts, not a lot of team.
They got Johnny Hockey up there now, right?
Johnny Gaudreau. I think, honestly, probably one of the most under-respected coaches.
Really?
I'm a fan of him.
Do you think
Bob Hartley is not a bad coach?
What's he just don't have the talent?
I think they were grabbing players, especially last year at the free agency. Mm-hmm. They were just trying to grab anybody and everybody, not worried about their chemistry or their what kind of system they were going to employ this year.
Right.
So I think they had some good pieces.
Yes.
Just not a matter of how those pieces fit together.
But a good coach would be able to get that cohesiveness together.
Yeah. Of course, he's always to blame, right?
Absolutely. That's why he's hired. He's hired to be fired.
He's hired to be fired, exactly. So, Mr. Monahan, 21 years old, native of Brampton, Ontario. 4 games last week played. He led the league with 4 goals. He had 4 goals, 3 assists for a nice little tidy total of 7 points.
Nice.
He's second on the team of Calgary with points right now. He's got 26 goals, 29 assists for a total of 55 points in 71 games. 23, this is an interesting stat. I know me and interesting stats. In 23 games since the All-Star break, he's 12, 14, and 26. So 12 goals, 14 assists for 26 points. It's not bad.
What's his
over a point a game.
You know what his plus minus is, though?
Didn't look.
I'll have to check that out.
No, we'll have to check. I'm sure somebody's home fact checking that right
Absolutely.
now. I know it's not me right now. 2nd star of the week. Guy who's been, he's a perennial star. He's he's appeared on this list frequently, but this year with the struggles they had out of the gate, and there was some question if he starting the season if he had health issues
Yes.
or conditioning issues, I should say. Jonathan Quick, goaltender of Los Angeles Kings.
You know, I went to his boarding school.
Really?
Yeah. I went there to do a lecture one time. It's called Avon Old Farm. It's in Connecticut. It's basically a hockey school.
Really?
I think he's the last real big name to come out of there. It's a
Is it
crazy.
Shattuck type thing?
Yep. And it's just old. I mean, it's just unbelievably old. In fact, they were going to use that school for Harry Potter, the filming. That's how old this school is. It's a cool old school. It's very, very wealthy to be there. And what they do is they put an insurance policy. So everyone joins, it's just all boys school. And so everyone joins the school hoping to make the hockey team. Well, once the hockey team is announced, the school drops in about half of registration.
Really?
All these rich people pull their kids out. And what they do is they buy insurance so that if your kid doesn't make the team, the insurance pays off your
tuition.
Yeah, crazy. But they have like helicopter landings there. But anyway, Avon Old School, it's in Connecticut. Mike Tyson's old house overlooks the whole thing. But great school, and so Mr. Quick went there.
All right. So
You've been educated. You've been educated.
Even educated, he is. 3 games played last week, 3-0-0, 1.32 goals against an absolutely insane stat here. Save percentage was .953 last week. That's not a bad little book of business for him last week. Shout out the Hawks.
One goal a game, would you say? Not even half a goal?
He had total of 4 goals. The games he had a total of 4 goals, but he doesn't necessarily get credited for all of them. Plus, there was an overtime goal in there, a game in there as well. So. He had 5-0 shutout in Chicago of the, dare I say, struggling Chicago Blackhawks.
They are
right
struggling.
now.
They look horrible.
For a team as good as they are on paper, and as much as we've talked about them, and people say, "Oh, it's fatigue," and all the hockey these guys have played because they've gone so deep in, but all crap.
Are they in the playoffs? I believe they are.
I don't think they've not yet clinched, but of course they're in a good position.
Yeah, they're
it's
in
a
a
matter
good
of where they will. Now they're not the perennial finishers like they always were of being top of the stack. They're middle of the pack right now. So
they are 1, 2. They are they're third. They're fourth place.
Yep.
In overall in the West.
in a tough conference.
Yeah, Anaheim's right behind them. They got San Jose right behind them.
Yep.
And then the wild card is Nashville and Minnesota.
Yep. So he had a 4-3 overtime win against the Rangers, so that would actually lower his goals against. There you go for doing your math. And 2-1 win over Boston. So he did not exactly have an easy week, and he still performed well. He got his 41st career shutout last week, and that is actually a milestone because he set the new record for shutouts by an American-born goaltender. It was shared by 2, of which one is the only other guy I had actually ever heard of, John Van Beesbrook.
Wow.
The Beezer.
Yeah.
And Beezer played into his 40s.
Yeah, when the Flyers picked him up and at the end of his career.
When he should have retired 5 years previous.
Another great job there, Flyers.
Yes, fantastic. So what those 3 wins did help is Los Angeles clinch their 6th playoff spot in the last 7 seasons.
Nice. I mean, they're
a solid team.
They're solid, and they're a nasty, gritty team.
Yep.
That I wouldn't want to play against every other week. And
Yep.
going a 7-game series, you got Lucic, you got Dustin. He's as nasty player as it is too. So I mean, they just got a bunch
They got some stalwart D's that you just cannot get past.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Doughty is going to be there. He's the kind of guy like the guy in I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. The guy in Chicago who logs all those minutes.
Seabrook.
Seabrook was one, but
Keith.
Duncan Keith.
All
See that?
I got your back.
We are recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Yes, we
of
are.
one, by the way. And it's been a long
And she's
week.
very critical.
Yes. So, getting to the first star of the week, I don't necessarily agree with the way the ordering of these go, but anyways, it is what it is. Player I'm not necessarily a fan of, but he did have a decent week. Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Look, that team is, Malkin goes down.
Yep.
And everyone starts counting them out.
Right.
And I don't think they've lost since.
They're still hot. Yeah, they're actually they are on a 6-game tear right now. They've won something like 10 or 9 of their last 11, 6 in a row.
They beat Washington.
Yep.
And now we could talk about Washington clinching. Are they going to keep playing all their players? And that game they did.
Yeah.
And you know what? Pittsburgh beat him.
Yeah, we'll talk about Washington in a little bit. But 4 games played, he had 2 goals, 5 assists for a total of 7 points. Another decent week. The milestone that came into play here is he's reached a 30-goal plateau right now for 7th time in his 11-year, 7 seasons in his 11-year career. I can't believe he's only been 11 years.
I know. Yeah. Trust me, I've counted all of them. 'Cause he kills.
Being a Philly fan,
he kills Philly in Philly all the time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Sidney Crosby. He's not going to deke around you. He's not a deker. He's not flat. He's a guy who finds open space.
He's not flash.
Nope. I mean, he's not going to. He made a nice move that got him one of the goals of the week, where he went. If it made the D think he was going to either go around the net or pass it out, and he kept going in, and it was a nice move. I mean, it was. For beer, Bush League. But anyway, no, it was a nice move, and he got goal of the week, one of the goals of the week. So, but he's just one of those guys who's just always in the right spot.
Yep. He doesn't score the highlight reel goals routinely. He scores big goals.
Huge goals.
He has a way of just appearing and disappearing.
Gold.
Yes.
He scores goals that are gold.
Exactly. They may not be the prettiest, but so he's got a 12-game point streak going right now. And if you look back, once again, from the All-Star break on, he's got an NHL best right now, 14 goals, 21 assists for a total of 35 points in 24 games played. This is a guy who started on a schneid.
Right.
We had him written off.
Coaches fired.
Yep. We had him written off every week. It was like, man, he's only got 3 points in 20 games or whatever it was.
They talk about him and Mario fighting.
Yeah.
We
know him and Malkin have never really gotten along.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been a tenuous relationship,
but they've been together so long. You know what? I figure they learn how to deal with each other.
So, anyways, after that rough start, here he is, finds himself 3rd in the NHL in scoring.
Wow.
So
first is Ovechkin.
Yep.
But points is Kane.
Yes.
I think he's got like 90-something points.
That's sick. It's sick.
You see that hit on him?
Mm-hmm. Skate with your head up, buddy.
And cross the center in the NHL. I mean, I don't know. That's almost arrogant in a way for him, the way to skate. Like, I couldn't believe he did that. The way he had his head down for at least 4 strides.
Yeah.
Looking down for that puck. Like.
Yep.
And that, you know what? He still got the better of the kid. He got hurt. Kane got hurt, but the kid that hit him fell the other way. Like, so Kane still had something.
Who hit him?
24 for Minnesota, right?
Ooh, it's not Charlie Coyle. No, it's Coyle 7. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
Hey, we got to hit the commercial break here. You're listening to the Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN. We'll be back in a sec after Maddie pays the bills.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash! The t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Puck.
Crash always gives me a high five.
It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon.
The goal horn when we score!
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild. Hockey lives here.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Are you trying to take your game to the next level? Have injuries or performance plateaus slowed you down? Let Dr. Gary Bowman and the Active Wellness Performance Lab get you on the right track. In the Performance Lab, they are using hospital-grade performance testing, cutting-edge strength programs, and detailed nutrition coaching all under one roof. Their program blends elite strategies from rehabilitation and sports medicine with top-level strength and conditioning. Check out the website for more information at activewellnessonline.com. That's activewellnessonline.com.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the mega We Sell Everything superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
All right, Des Moines, Central Iowa, you're back. 1350 ESPN, the other state of hockey. Only show, find another one, I dare you to, that talks nothing but hockey. We talk about everything, the whole spectrum of hockey.
Well, we do talk about one other thing, and that is tacos.
We do. We do. We talk about our gut a lot.
I mean, we do talk about what we're eating a lot.
We do.
It's kind of sickening. But when you go eat at Fuzzy Taco, I can't stop.
Woo.
I mean, I went there, Saturday, because Sunday we went out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Saturday we went there, and, it was one of them days where, again, I order, I'm eating, I'm almost done, and I'm like, I should order another one.
Maybe another one to go, just in case.
And then but
find it craving it, man.
I do. I mean, when I want something that's like just good, tasty food, like that's going to be just filling, I go there. And
fresh. It's made right there, right in front of you. It's not been sitting around. It's not in the fridge, and they gotta go thaw it out.
The breakfast burritos, I mean, are hands down the best breakfast burritos.
And you can get them all day long.
All day long, 24 hours. Or no, they're not open 24 hours.
And if there's hockey on TV, it's on there too.
Or you can go there and watch, NHL on the fly is always on. So, and there's always hockey people there. So, a great hockey family. Support the hockey people. I mean, it's the best way. I mean, all that money goes there, just goes back into travel hockey anyway. Ice and Rover. It all comes back to us. Yes. So, anyway,
2 locations.
Yes, one in Ankeny up by you.
Yep.
And then mine is close to me, downtown.
Down by the Science Center.
Science Center, right on the MLK. The other MLK, because there's a square of MLK. But anyway, the other, right behind the Science Center and right before the baseball field.
Yeah.
It's a great place. Stop in. Great location and great atmosphere there.
Yep. And use the app. Get your points.
That's it. Use
Get
the app.
your points.
Still haven't signed up. I'm a loser.
There you go. All right. We are back. Derek and Frank talking hockey as we do.
And tacos.
And tacos.
And I can't stop thinking about it. Good.
All right. Well, I hope we make it through the show without you bailing on me here. So.
Maybe.
So we already talked a little bit about the Capitals, and last week we talked about because they were the first team to clinch a playoff spot.
Right.
This week they were the first team to clinch overall spot, so they claimed first spot in the East.
Now, do you start sitting your players? I mean, you clinched it.
Well, at this point in the year, you got so many guys. Everybody's banged up to some degree. Everyone's got twinges. Everyone's got, But do you start backing off? Is this a chance to bring up guys to get a look at, or just to get, buy a couple of days for some guys to either take therapy days of practice, or just give them a game or 2 off just to get them ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's the mojo. Do you keep the mojo with the team, or is it
Because you want that chemistry to keep going.
Right, and it's, again, practice time and timing. It's all timing.
Yeah.
It's all timing with guys like that who, you dish off that puck to him in that side slot that he does that one-timer.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to have it.
Yep, sixth sense. Those guys know where each other are. It's just when you're in a groove and you're rolling, you don't want to mess with it.
No.
But it's at this point in the season, like I said, it's a grind.
One of them gets hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to look at the coach and GM and say, what are you doing?
But you and I both know after with our being around professional hockey players, this point in the year, everyone's got something that's been bothering them at one point or another. Some guys are playing without ACLs. Some guys are playing with dislocated shoulders. Some guys got torn rib cartilage. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got something at this point.
And you want to get into the playoffs brand new, because the playoffs is where...
That's where it counts, baby.
That grind. Who's that? A couple years ago, Boston player played with the punctured lung and a broken rib, and they just don't want to come off. That's what makes hockey players hockey players.
Yeah.
Nicest guys off, But man, they are just.
We saw last year Matt Stone played with a broken wrist. From Ottawa.
I one time played with Hang Now. It was killing me. Like the whole game. No one can stop me. You can't stop me.
Can't stop me. So we look at other teams that have clinched so far. Only 3 currently. I know Anaheim had a chance on Tuesday night, but believe it or not, Montreal pulled out a win against them. Go figure. They can't win any other time.
Again, Anaheim, another team written off earlier year. I mean, just couldn't put it together. The loss, the Matt Bolesky effect that was going on with them. I don't know, but anyway.
The Bolesky hangover, we call it.
Yeah, that's right.
We had, of course, our guest a couple weeks ago, Bob was telling us, Bob Ferguson was telling us basically, that they just had to find themselves. There's more than enough talent there. I really give kudos to the ownership there, not to hit the panic switch and fire the coach and shake up everything and do the whole Etch-a-Sketch thing. Yeah. They have enough pieces there. So, anyways, we look at teams that have already clinched: Washington, Dallas, and LA. Only 3 right now. There's a couple others that are close, but the playoff picture itself is starting to look pretty firm. There may be some minor jockeying around. But in the East and the West, the only 2 things we're looking at right now is that second wild card spot. Each team has between 7 and 9 games left. And in the East, we're looking at basically 3 teams in play. You've got Philly, you've got Pittsburgh, and you've got Detroit.
But I think Pittsburgh's in, and I think Philly, Detroit, I think they're and there's someone else in that little hunt, but I think Pittsburgh's already in, if I'm not mistaken.
The thing I talked about, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we heard about Malkin getting hurt down the stretch and being out until probably late in the first round. A guy who's been there all year and has been such a key to, he's the straw that stirs the drink, as they like to say, to be such a key player for him to go down. You think, okay, what happens? Well, they just tear off 9 of 11. 6 straight. Right. Oh, okay. And then I think, okay, Philly's in there. I know you got to be excited about that. But what happens? Neuwirth goes down with a knee injury this week. Now you have Mason, who's, he's not exactly a workhorse.
Right.
He's a decent backup.
Yeah.
He's a decent backup. But he's, there's a fairly big drop off, I think, between him and
What's he get? $9 million a year for a backup. Great job.
Well, his full marks to his agent.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Detroit, the other thing you want, is this going to be the year that their streak finally ends?
I think so.
And what streak I'm talking about for people are, what the hell are these guys talking about? I think it's something like 24 years straight they have made the playoffs.
24 years?
I need to verify that, but it's an insane number of years. Of course, this is the first year in a long time that Mike Babcock's not been behind the bench.
Right. And that's a huge thing. But, we talk about 24 years, and you should check on that. For the new listeners, just so you know, we have fans who
like to fact check
us.
And we have a lot of Red Wings fans out there.
Yes. So get back at us on our Facebook
Someone
or
correct
Twitter.
me.
Yeah, it's good.
Hit us up on Twitter.
The tweet.
Yeah.
Get it with the tweet.
So, another really interesting thing that I've started to notice looking at the stack here, it's potential that there will not be a Canadian team in the playoffs this year. This is the first time since 69-70 that there was not a Canadian team in the playoffs. Now, that's back when there was only 2 of them, when there was only 6 teams.
And the only other team I used to root for might be your Habs, and that would be whenever they would play Boston.
Yes.
Or
kind
even
of like
Toronto. I like Toronto when they played them, too. There's team. And plus, there's a lot of, I knew a couple of people on Toronto, and then also that there was a couple of old Flyers on Toronto.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I would root for them too, but mainly I would never really root for Canadian teams when I was a kid. I just, Edmonton whooped the crap out of us 2 years.
Who didn't they beat back in the day?
That was our Stanley Cup teams too.
Right now, Vancouver's the only team right now from Canada that looks like they have an outside chance of making the playoffs.
And I'm not a big fan of Vancouver. I mean, I was when Andrew Ebbett played on there. A good friend of mine, Andrew Ebbett, played on there.
You make an interesting point, though. You do follow the teams that you know the guys.
Yeah. I do.
Their head coach there was actually coached when I was with Milwaukee.
Who's that?
I knew you were going to ask me.
I knew that.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to think about that and probably hit it up after when I come back from the break here. But Willie Desjardins, there you go.
There you are.
Willie Desjardins.
Desjardins, that's a big name.
That's a big name. So, another question to ask when we look at the stats. Will Edmonton get that number 1 pick? Or, be last overall again? I can't say will they get number 1 pick. Right now, the Leafs, I think, are a couple of points ahead of them in that title.
So when you say ahead of, do you mean?
I mean behind.
All right, behind. So
Buffalo's not far off, and Calgary's not far off, and there's a couple of Columbus is not far off. I can't believe Columbus actually climbed out of the cellar.
I know. It's
the hole that they dug themselves in.
You don't like the coach.
I don't like the coach. He'll still be there next year.
He has to be.
As long as that idiot general manager's still there. So you're wondering where you are? You're listening to the Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN. Derek and
Our
Frank.
brilliance.
Our brilliance. It's blinding. I almost need sunglasses here. So we've talked about what's happening so far in the playoffs coming up. Let's talk a little bit about history. This week in history, I like throwing in a couple of these things.
Go ahead.
1894, this week marked the first championship series that was playoff series for the Stanley Cup.
Who wasn't playing in that game?
I don't think Yager was in that game, but it's entirely possible.
We have to look that up.
We have to look it up.
Fact check on that one.
We need to fact check. Look at that picture. See if there's any mullets in that picture. But it was between Montreal HC and Ottawa. That was not, and these were amateur teams at the time.
Right.
And it was 22 years before the NHL was born. There were several different leagues that came and went between then that that Stanley Cup was played for. But initially it was an amateur title. So speaking of that Stanley Cup. Saturday, it's going to be in town. Phil Pritchard, the man in the white gloves and the big suitcase, will be in Des Moines at Wells Fargo Arena. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we get back.
Yes.
But can you believe it? We're coming up into the second period. And we got a couple other things we'll talk about as far as this week in hockey when we get back.
I got a few things I want to talk about.
We always do. And we always run out of time. So, hitting the commercial break, Maddie's going to pay the bills. You're listening to the Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stambro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstambrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstambrorealestate.com.
Hey kids, what do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash! The t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop.
Crash always gives me a high five.
It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon.
The goal horn when we score!
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild. Hockey lives here.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Are you trying to take your game to the next level? Have injuries or performance plateaus slowed you down? Let Dr. Gary Bowman and the Active Wellness Performance Lab get you on the right track. In the Performance Lab, they are using hospital-grade performance testing, cutting-edge strength programs, and detailed nutrition coaching all under one roof. Their program blends elite strategies from rehabilitation and sports medicine with top-level strength and conditioning. Check out the website for more information at activewellnessonline.com. That's activewellnessonline.com.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a Warehouse Club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, Frank, we always like to come back and talk about here on the Other State of Hockey. We like to come back and talk about our bellies, our appetites. You know?
Because I'm hungry.
We talked about one of our favorite sponsors, Felix and Oscars. Find them on the Facebook, find them on the internet, felixandoscars.com.
Yes.
We talked about forever getting everybody out, our families out, and going to the Sunday brunch. And this week we finally managed to orchestrate it,
and it was amazing,
dude. It was literally the variety. The usual stuff for breakfast. Hey, there's spaghetti meatballs out there, and pancakes.
Yeah.
And every kind of pizza you want, and
mac
an
and
omelet
cheese.
bar.
I mean, it was just. I had a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, my wife who's older,
Yes.
and everyone just could go and just.
Oh man, I hurt myself.
I loved it.
I didn't want to stop. It was awesome. So Sunday buffet, good. Wasn't a bad price.
No, and it had basketball games on, which I was
If
okay
you're
with.
which
You know,
we talked about
for March Madness. So
Yeah. But great atmosphere, plenty to eat, lots of space. You
Right.
get some elbow room. You're not on top of everybody.
waiters were very attentive.
Bring your group. They love to see you coming.
F&O.
F&O.
It's on Merle Hay. It's right by Hobby Lobby, right?
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby, right?
Yeah, it's right there in that same
I
location.
don't pay
They've
attention
been
to
there
anything
forever.
else but there, so I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, Frank gives you directions. It's usually given in measures of places he likes to eat at.
It totally is. You're totally right.
So
Dunkin' Donuts,
Felix and
whatever.
Oscars, hit him up. Tell Mark that we sent ya. All right. Coming back to this week in hockey, 1989. We got a ton of stuff to get to. I once again, I had this concern that we're not going to have enough material to talk about. And due to circumstances beyond our control, actually, we had a guest usually lined up for this segment that things didn't
Killer
go.
guest, too.
Yes.
I mean,
Great
all-star.
guest. Great guest. And we're going to get them on next week. They did already confirm that they want to come back on next week, which good for us.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are going to march on. We've got to keep.
I think Maddie spilled her Bloody Mary on the board. So that's what
I saw sparks back there. I wasn't sure what was going on.
I seen her Bloody Mary. It was pretty strong.
All right. So this week in hockey, we already talked about a couple things that have happened. 1989, I remember watching this game. It was Buffalo against St. Louis. Clint Malarchuk was in net.
Wow.
Steve Tuttle and Uwe Krupp were. Uwe Krupp was a defenseman for Buffalo. They get Tuttle's driving the net. They kind of got tangled up. Steve Tuttle's skate came up and caught goaltender Clint Malarchuk in a glancing blow on the side of his right side of his neck, cut his carotid artery and his right jugular vein. And I'm sure most people have seen the video. If you've not seen it, be forewarned. It is very graphic.
Yes.
It is.
It's more graphic than the Zednik one, too.
Yes, it is.
Zednik was a bad one.
Zednik
too.
was a bad one. And actually, he has a story to that. But I remember the picture of him falling to his knees with his hand to his neck with blood shooting out of his neck. And if it was not for Jim Pizzatello, and I practiced that name because I want to make sure I got it right.
Right.
He was a trainer that was on the bench, and he was an old Army medic from that did 2 tours in Vietnam.
Wow.
He jumped out there and literally put his hands in his neck to stop the bleeding.
Pinched it, yep.
He literally had his fingers in there, pinched the carotid, pinched off his,
Saved his life.
jugular vein to save his life, to keep him from bleeding death on the ice.
Yeah.
Now, Malarchuk's mom was watching the game home on TV because she knew
imagine
he
that.
was going to be starting.
Right.
And he actually got up and skated off the ice after they. I mean, I remember the puddle of blood
Yeah.
on the ice. It's immense. It's absolutely immense. He lost. It's like 1.5 liters of blood.
What do you have, 8 liters in you? Is that correct? I might be
He was
wrong.
pushing it, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, he lost probably almost a quarter of his blood flow, which is scary as hell. But anyways, there's all kinds of stories about they worked on him to save his life in the locker room and all this. None of those stories apparently are true. They loaded him into the ambulance with Mr. Pizzatelli's hands in his neck until they got him in the hospital and actually got him stabilized and did surgery. He actually had told the guys, the EMTs, if he could be back for the third period.
Hockey players.
Hockey players, eh? So, yeah, you get LeBron carried off for cramps, and you got a guy with a skate to his neck asking if he can come back.
So down in Dallas was it last year? One of the players, I forget who it was, a young kid, just kind of keeled.
Rich Peverly.
Yes. And so
they shocked him.
Yeah, and I have one of my, the ladies' man is down there, one of the other trainer who I used to work with. So Craig Lowry. Yeah. And so anyway, he was. The next game, I happened to be down there, and I went to the game, and they actually honored him, and it was really cool that I got to be there while my boy was being honored. But he was one of the guys. He's the assistant trainer, but he's kind of head trainer
Yep.
too. They kind of shared it.
And Peverly made the same comment after they shocked him. They wanted to know if he could go back in the game.
Yeah.
Guy was clinically dead and wanted to know if he could go back.
And those guys did not panic.
Yep.
I would have been like, oh.
So after he retired, actually, Malarchuk, you never guess what he's doing right now. Remember our guest, Steve Briere, goaltender and coach from Toronto from
Yes.
a while ago, probably 4 or 5 months ago? Anyways, he was his agent when he was a player. So he went on to coach and be an agent after that. Right now, you never guess what he's doing. He is a horse dentist. I couldn't make that up.
Wow.
Horse dentist. There you go. So he was the cowboy goalie they used to call him. So
I wonder if they have to go to school longer than like a regular vet or anything.
it's a vet tech, and I don't
because
you got
I mean,
me.
just like a dentist.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to go
guess so.
longer than a doctor.
Yep.
And people always say, "You're just a dentist."
So Clint Malarchuk, you don't believe me? You should wear a neck guard as a goaltender. That should be enough proof for you right there. This is the 25th anniversary, actually, also of Wayne Gretzky passing Gordie Howe's all-time point total.
Wow.
So, of course, it's the tale of two cities here because you had Gordie, who played for 5 decades.
Yeah. He played with his children.
Yes, he did. He actually played with his kids.
Yes.
And when they were with Hartford.
Hartford, and
Mark
then
and Mark and Marty.
So because Mark later on played for Philly,
Yes.
as defenseman. But the funny thing was, then he also went back and played in the WH.
Yes, he did.
And-
Age 52, he finally retired from the Detroit Vipers.
They show him with no helmet, gray hair.
Yep.
I think he got a goals too. He's still
So
scoring.
at the age of 52, this guy retires with 1,850 points. Well, Mr. Gretzky did it at the age of 28. Tells you the scale. This guy was, it's 25 years ago. People kind of forgotten the impact this guy had on the game. There was nobody close. Talking about fantasy sports, I remember fantasy hockey pools. You could take anyone but Gretzky.
Yeah.
He was that far and above everybody. There's never been anyone like it. Never. I suspect there won't be anyone like it again to that kind of scale.
No, I mean, there's no one that has that ability, I think, to set the bar even for them to do it that way. And I think to do it, would be setting them up for failure.
So we know that Wayne not only finished his career with more points than Gordie, he had more assists than Gordie had total points.
That's where they always talk about behind the net, right? He was the
Gretzky's
master.
Gretzky's office. So coming up this weekend, changing gears again.
Yes.
It is the annual Guns N' Hoses game.
Right.
Big game. Both of us are involved with it to one degree or another.
Yes.
So it's at Bucks Arena, 1:30 puck drop. This game is always a great game.
It's fun.
Great atmosphere. Fun atmosphere. We got big crowd in there. For these guys, it's their Stanley Cup probably.
It is.
People get a little passionate about it. There's a bit of pride on it.
There's always been a drop the gloves here or there.
Yeah, but these guys love each other. Believe me. I mean, I practiced with them together. Within the last couple of weeks and stuff, we kind of just get together on Tuesday nights to practice. But I'll be playing for the Cops team.
Yeah,
I'll be in net, and you'll be doing radio, I believe.
Doing radio again, yes, and which is what started this show. So yeah, we'll be doing the radio again. There's so many players on those teams, so and it's fun to listen. Even for me, because I don't know a lot of the guys, but I have like little fact sheets. I try to keep up with them, but basically I just tell stories about hockey and I do a little play-by-play. And like someone was talking about the other day where they were like, "Yeah, I remember listening to you do that." And the one guy had to stop me from telling a story because he was like, "Hey, they just scored," and I was like, "Oh, they did just score." "Oh yeah," and I just went on with my story.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's a fun little event, and I'm glad that I'm always honored that they asked me to be part of it.
Your ticket gets you into that game as well as the Bucks game after that. I believe they're playing Tri-City after that. The Bucks will be wearing special jerseys, which will be auctioned off. They'll have
For
a bunch of
Guns
stuff
N' Hoses, or is it
it's a special Guns N' Hoses jersey,
Wow.
just like every year. There will be a silent auction, I believe, with stuff which is usually some pretty choice swag there. I know that the Wild are giving some stuff as well to it. All proceeds go this year to Blanks Children's Hospital.
Yes.
So good cause. Get out and support it.
We
All
should
right.
offer up a thing, like maybe have someone come sit in the studio.
Be a special guest.
Special guest.
We're going to set the minimum.
Because,
at 50
if
cents.
it's the wrong person, we might have to outbid them.
Exactly.
Maddie.
Austin Matthews. We've heard this name thrown around a lot. We're kind of all over the farm here tonight
Yeah,
as
we
far
are.
as how we're going. But Austin Matthews, the projected number 1 pick this year, actually born in Phoenix.
Yes, I heard that.
Just to show you. That
Where's Johnny Goudreau from?
Goudreau?
Yeah.
I forget.
South Jersey, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But talk about a non-traditional market.
Yeah.
Anyways, right now, it looks like, according to the draft lottery, there's a 70% chance, 70.5% chance that he'll be playing for a Canadian team. There was a rumor that came out that he said he would stay in the Swiss League if he did not, or if he was drafted by a Canadian team.
Really?
So, first thing I got was shades of Lindros again.
Right.
Picking teams that he can and can't play for. So his agent actually came out and flatly denied this.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But, rumors start somewhere. So you wonder what's going on with that. So the interesting thing about
ex-girlfriends usually start them.
the interesting thing about this is that he's the first guy to finish his junior career in a professional league in Europe. The reason is that they have a lower age you can play as a younger player over there before he's eligible to even be drafted over here. So he said his goal is to play next year in the NHL, regardless of where it is. So,
Okay.
you look at last year with McDavid and Eichel, they didn't care. They just wanted to play in the NHL.
Just wanted to play.
So the interesting fact is, if he was born 48 hours earlier, he would have been in the same draft class as last year's players. So we would have had Eichel, McDavid, and Matthews, all three together.
Wow.
Now, we saw in the World Juniors, this kid's legit. He's got some skill.
Yes.
Now, you wonder, is that because of the fact he just has, he's that good, or has playing over in Europe in a professional league, which is not as physical, on bigger ice, elevated his game even more?
Players are going to elevate if they're motivated themselves. It doesn't matter where you play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Did it motivate him more or get him more involved? You definitely don't have to worry about the hitting as much.
Yep.
Not that they don't not hit, but it's
Bigger
wider.
ice, you can't afford to play as much contact.
Right. You're more trying to play a positional defense than trying to knock the guy off the puck.
Yes.
Is the way they play.
Yes. And, like you said, and typically it's these
Boring. No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
They're more finesse than they are for and puck movement than physical play.
Right.
But anyways, can you believe it? The third segment is over with. We're coming back. We have our last period, and which we would call overtime.
Overtime.
We're going to come back.
Sudden death.
Yep, sudden death. We'll do a little bit for the old crap and talk about the local stuff that's going on. You're
Yes.
listening to The Other State of Hockey. Derek and Frank on 1350 ESPN.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash! The t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Puck.
Crash always gives me a high five.
It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon.
The goal horn when we score!
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild. Hockey lives here.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Are you trying to take your game to the next level? Have injuries or performance plateaus slowed you down? Let Dr. Gary Bowman and the Active Wellness Performance Lab get you on the right track. In the Performance Lab, they are using hospital-grade performance testing, cutting-edge strength programs, and detailed nutrition coaching all under one roof. Their program blends elite strategies from rehabilitation and sports medicine with top-level strength and conditioning. Check out the website for more information at activewellnessonline.com. That's activewellnessonline.com.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Every Thursday, 5 to 6 o'clock. Set your time. Set your calendar, man. That we are always on every week, coming up on a year.
Yes.
So I know Frank wants to give a shout out.
But before then, we have to make sure that everyone make sure if ESPN gets rid of us, that everyone call them and tell them to put us back on.
All 6 of you.
Yes. Just hit redial a lot. So yeah, no. So we have a big explosion. Our roller team, travel roller kids, are about to do their first tournament of the year. So we've really been trying to do some new things. We have 2 teams in each age group, so we have a lot of players. But we went today to this place called CrossFit. It's in West Des Moines. It's where the old loft used to be. So it's by Dunkin' Donuts. Again, my food.
Once again.
But so it's right on, what is it, 73rd? No, 73rd and 8th Street. And it's right underneath the highway.
Yeah.
Yep. And so it's right there. There's some wildlife bird place right there too. But anyway, we went there to go work out. Man, this guy was amazing for our kids. And I just want, if you are really thinking about just like not going to the gym and just pushing up weights, but doing stuff to really get yourself going, this dude's it.
This guy really needs to advertise with this show.
Yeah, I might have to do it. But it's I'm going to give him a shout out because he really was so good for our kids.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids loved him. And his guy used to play for the New York Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's big boy.
Big.
Big.
When you drop your voice like that, it makes it so much more legit.
So it's CrossFit WDM.com. So CrossFit CrossFit WDM.com. Tell them that you heard it on the show. Maybe we'll get them a sponsor. I mean, look, people don't talk business like that, but we do all the time.
We do.
Yeah. Hey, we need to get some money from that guy.
Yeah.
And again, we don't even get paid.
No.
Maddie gets all the money.
That's right.
And she sits there and flipped me off earlier, so I don't want to talk to her no more.
Yep. So, but you probably had it coming.
Yeah.
So we're
Awesome.
back. One of our favorite sponsors, GRLlaw.com.
Yes, I was
Our
with
boy
him tonight.
Bobby.
He was there.
There you go.
His kid plays on my team.
They are the proprietors of the Oh Crap app. Make sure you download it. It's in the Android store and the Apple store.
Yes.
It is a great way to know your rights and responsibilities should
Right.
you get in a situation of needing a lawyer.
It is not to say, how can I go drinking and driving?
No.
It's not saying that at all, because
No.
that's what someone said to me.
It lets you know what your rights are.
Yes, when you're being pulled over, you pop open the app and it gives you
And it
step
even changes
by step.
by state.
Yes.
So
They got it going on. That's a great app.
it's just
Oh Crap app. You can't miss it.
Oh Crap app. Just check it out. Free download. Check it out. See what you think of it.
Bobby's a great guy too.
Bobby's a great guy. Whole family's great. I know we've
Summer's
coached the
okay.
kids. All right, Mama Motor, I call her. Anyways, all right, we're back, and the Oh Crap app section is we're talking about legalities and the legal trouble sometimes that some of our players in the league find themselves in.
Thank God we don't do a show for the NBA or the NFL.
That's
'cause
true.
Oh Crap app would be every episode.
It would be we'd have to ask more from them. But the big news this week about this concussion lawsuit,
Yes,
this concussion
big one.
class action suit. As everyone knows, it's over 100 and some odd players now they're talking about that are suing or trying to sue the NHL, saying that they knew or they were not disclosing their full knowledge of the long-term effects of continued head trauma.
Right.
As we've seen in football players.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know the NFL has already come out acknowledging this week, or just recently, acknowledging a direct link between head trauma and this condition, CTE. The NHL has not done the same thing, but the NHL tried an interesting ploy this week, and they're proposing that a pre-exemption clause existed. Now, I really wish we had Bobby here for this.
Yes.
But basically,
We could sig him on this case. He'll get on the case.
I got to hear his take on this because it's all over the shop as far as what the professionals think. So basically, if they win this pre-exemption clause, it would dismiss the case before it even goes to trial, before they even get to discovery. So what the
it's so shady, that legal type of stuff.
it is, but the NHL headquarters has 4 floors of lawyers. So the NHL contends that all the concussion-related injuries and whatnot are a health and safety issue, which should be covered under the collective bargaining agreement and not with regards to the league itself. And because it should be covered under the collective bargaining agreement, the league itself should be exempt from any kind of litigious action.
I don't know about exempt, but
they have some responsibility. We know that. And I understand why they're not making a stance one way or the other, because regardless of what it is, it's probably not going to be enough for somebody. And once they start establishing something, it goes downhill from there, is where, at least where I see it. The big question is basically, how is this going to get done? If, according to the collective bargaining agreement, any kind of health and safety issue would have to go through some kind of arbitration process. It is not spelled out how that arbitration process would happen. So, yeah, it was possible it was there. It was just never, ever tried. Now, the NHLPA, the Players Union, Donald Fair and his demonic minions, have said they don't want to have anything to do with this. And the main reason is because all these guys that are suing the league are former players. He says his purview are only current active players. So until active players join this, the NHLPA is staying out of this.
And see, and an active player is not going to join it.
No,
they're just not. It's
they
just
can't.
not. They can't, right? So it's like this whole little catch-22 snafu thing. That's
Yep. So it's strange for me for Donald Fair to back away from a fight with the NHL, but it is what it is. So apparently, looking back, the NFL actually tried this whole pre-exemption clause in their lawsuit that was brought against them.
the NFL tried it against
The
that
NFL
player.
had tried to use it, but their settlement came before it was actually got to the courts trying this.
And what was the settlement? I think it was like $200
When we look
million.
at what the settlement is for the number of players and
Okay.
the number of programs and the span of time, it's very little.
Yes.
So you wonder if this pre-exemption thing actually had any legs. Did the Players Association decide, man, we better settle this for less than what we think it's going to be worth? Because if we lose this, we lose everything. So in 2000, and there is actually precedent for this. Man, I'm starting to sound like Bobby.
Yeah, you are.
In 2011, Derek Bugard, we always heard about him.
Yes.
He's called the
Sad,
Boogeyman.
yeah.
Played for sad story. Played for the Minnesota Wild. Committed suicide after a long history of depression, and it turns out his brain did show that he had signs of CTE. The NHL brought forth a motion saying that the labor agreement pre-exempted civil litigation against the league, and it was the court sided for the NHL. So there's precedent out there saying that this is a health and safety thing. It is outside of it should be addressed within the labor process and the collective bargaining agreement. So will this happen? And according to medical and legal experts, this is all over the farm right now. The legal community is torn, saying there's already a precedent there. Some people are saying maybe it's not. But the medical people are also coming out now saying that for all these people we're seeing with CTE, these football players, not seeing the same numbers in hockey players.
Yeah. I think because in football, you practice hitting too. I mean, full contact practices a lot more, and guys on the offensive, defensive line. I mean,
it's just nonstop, smack.
Yeah.
Yep. Practice, daily practice, weekly games. You might get a good hard knock once in a while in hockey, but anyways. So we're waiting to see how this all rolls out. We shall see. So a couple things. We're coming up on only 5 minutes left. Frank, can you believe this?
5 minutes, and then people can listen to something else.
Yeah, elevator music, that'll follow this, I'm sure. So, talking about our local teams here, talk about the Wild. 2 games last week in the Western California swing. Went to Stockton and San Jose. Lost the first one pretty handily, 5-1. It was like, I think, 4-0 in the first period.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a rough game. And, it was an interesting game because Leland Irving, goaltender for the Iowa Wild, it was his first game as a member of the Iowa Wild against the franchise that drafted him.
Calgary, right?
Calgary.
Yep.
He was at one point the number 1 draft prospect, and remember when he played with Omaha?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he killed us.
He came here. He owned us, and getting to know him a bit actually in the last couple of weeks. He's a great guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. I met him a couple of times when I worked there, and yeah, really nice guy.
So of course, right before this road trip, Steve Michalik, or Michalik, however we're pronouncing his name, I need to figure that out. Got called up by Minnesota. So
did he play?
He did not. He called up as an emergency backup.
Okay.
And the team ended up signing a guy who was a former beer leaguer. He did actually play a bit of college. Mike Moody, I believe was his name, signed as a backup for the weekend for both games.
For Iowa.
Yes.
Where's he from? This Moody guy.
He's actually, I believe, a California kid. But
they flew him in and everything, or
no, he was right there in town. But he showed up like 15 minutes before warm up started. So good for him. And 4 whole minutes. Okay, got it, Manny. Thanks. Yeah. So good for him. He got a chance to be the backup.
Can we get a backup for Maddie?
I'm thinking about it.
Thinking about it.
So they went off to San Jose after that, and they actually played in the SAP Center, which is the same place the Sharks play.
Okay.
And of course,
so they were on the road. That's
Yes.
why they got the
Yes.
guy. I got you now. I'm sorry, sir.
Yep. So they played the Barracuda, which is the Sharks AHL team.
Right.
Fell into a 2-0 hole, unlike the previous night. Came back, tied the game. Bulmer and Birchie scored. Ended up losing in overtime 3-2, so we got 1 point out of it. Next week, we've got Friday, Saturday double set against the Chicago Wolves. We've talked about what's going on Saturday night with Saturday with the Stanley Cup being in the house. And then they have the next home game being the 30th against Manitoba. It's a Wednesday night game, a strange game. So we'll talk a bit about the Bucks. We got to talk about what's going on with them for a little bit. Giving props to former players right now is the biggest thing I want to talk about.
Is that all you're saying we have to talk about? Like,
I want to give props to these guys.
Okay, yeah.
Jason Kasdorf, good kid.
Yes.
I remember from a couple of years ago. Know his former Billet family quite well. He was a Bucks player 3 years ago. He was signed by the Buffalo Sabres this week to an NHL contract.
Sorry for him, but it's cool.
Hey, you signed an NHL
I know.
contract.
I'm just good. I would sign with anyone if they ever give me a chance.
He was drafted by his hometown Winnipeg Jets. He was part of the Evander Kane trade.
Ooh.
When Kane went from Buffalo last year. Remember when he was in?
Yeah. I remember that. Big trade. I mean,
so actually, I had talking to him, his Billet family. He was actually excited because his agent said, "Look, Buffalo's got a lot of young prospects.
Yes, they do.
A lot of stuff coming up through the farms.
We got a good Matt Donovan,
right?
A good friend of mine.
Yep,
defenseman up there.
Yep. So good luck to Kasdorf. Good luck for him. Ethan Prow. We talked a bit about him. He is now in the top 10 finalists for the Hobey Baker Award.
And for those who don't know, Hobey Baker is the
Heisman of college hockey.
Yes,
for lack of a better term. So it's for the top NCAA Division I Player of the Year. Plays for St. Cloud Huskies.
That's a good one.
Yep. And so the next they're going to be narrowed down to 3, which last I heard, early voting, he is a runaway favorite. So there's a Facebook app. Get on the Hobey. Look on Facebook for the Hobey. You can do 1 vote per day. Get on there, vote for this guy. Ethan Prow, good guy. All right. Couple of things we always follow.
Go ahead.
We talk about this not being a hockey market. Chad Costello, pride of Urbandale.
Yes.
Yes, he did play in Des Moines, believe it or not, as a kid.
Yes.
Playing for the Allen Americans. We always talked about last year, his runaway year. 91 points so far this year.
You wonder if he's going to get a call up.
I've had discussions with his brother about that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get the top line minutes. So we're coming up. Speaking of top line minutes, we're almost out of our top line minutes. We got a whole minute left.
We have a whole hour of top line minutes.
Exactly. Chad's got 91 points, 24 more than the next guy.
Sounds like Mario. I mean, sounds like Gretzky.
Yeah,
he
does.
Down in that league.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the Gretzky of the American Hockey, or the East Coast Hockey League here right now. So, Chad, I still got to try to get him on.
Yes.
I know I played beer league with his brother last year. Love to get him on, especially with the off season coming up. And I'm sure he'll be back in town. But opening up a nice big lead like he did last year. He had 40 points, I think, over number 2 last year. Quad City Mallards holding on to the last playoff spot in the Western Conference right now. 2 points up on Tulsa.
Yep.
So there's holding in dogfight to the end.
Another thing on local hockey, we are doing Farm Tough again. I think it's every Monday. So, and I know there's another camp coming up too, but we have Farm Tough camp coming up. And
Champions will be here back again this year. Marty Wilford and oh my gosh, I can't believe John Krause. It's always a favorite. Fills up quickly.
Yes.
Not a hockey market, eh?
Every Monday you can do Farm Tough. It's cool. Come out, have fun, learn how to game.
This is the greatest sport in the world. This is the greatest hockey show in Iowa. You're listening to Derek and Frank, 1350.
We are the hottest guys on this show.
Every Thursday, 1350. The other state of hockey. Keep your stick on the ice tomorrow.